Welcome to the Investing Podcast presented by Tusk Media. This is Outsider Trading, an audio and video deep dive into the people, places, and things that we find most interesting in the market.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Investing Podcast presented as always by Tusk Media. If you're listening to this audio format, hit subscribe on iTunes, download every episode we have. There's like 200 and something of them. Then delete them all and re-download, helps us in the numbers. Also leave a 5-star review. If you're on YouTube, hit subscribe. If you're on Seeking Alpha, watching this video, give us a follow, leave us some comments, let us know what you want us to talk about. Andrew Hall here, Ben Nye. Ben, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. So we're going to have kind of a fun time on this podcast. We are going to go back and look at some predictions we made for a potential portfolio way back before the election. So if you go back, we'll link this in the Seeking Alpha article. We made an audio podcast. It was just us talking, you, me, Matt Krebsbach, Garrett Palmer, the intern, Sam Frost. We sat around a table and we made predictions for what portfolio would do well if Hillary Clinton won the election. Simultaneous to that, we made a prediction for if somehow Donald Trump miraculously won the election, what type of portfolio would do well. So today we're going to do a little bit of a recap. Intern Barrett's tracked this stuff. We actually updated the numbers as of today, so December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. So we are going to jump in right now and kind of go through what we thought would do well. Matt Krebsbach picked ConocoPhillips and Smith & Wesson. A little bit of a contra play there with Smith & Wesson. We kind of thought...
And that's on the Trump win.
Yep, that was on the Trump win. So of note, COP up 12.56%. So doing pretty nicely. Smith & Wesson not so much, down about 27%. Nobody's perfect. We might take a look at Smith & Wesson. We haven't in a while, but it's really selling off.
I would say like 10 times earnings now.
It's looking a little bit attractive. Ben, talk to us a little bit about your picks and what you went after.
Yeah, so I picked CXW, I believe. So they operate private prisons, and there was a big headline risk when current president's administration said that he would want to remove the privatization from the prison system and make them public prisons. And now with the Trump election, my thinking was that thinking would reverse and that CXW would appreciate substantially, because all of a sudden you're not talking about terminal value 2 years out.
Right.
You're talking about terminal value, which is more indefinite.
And you've had a run there. That stock,
it's been my...
It's only up about 68% since the day of the election, so pretty solid little growth story there. And then also IEP, which was an interesting one.
IEP, Icon Enterprises. I almost actually put money into this for real, because I thought that because it has been so beaten down. You had talk that Icon was going to be in the Trump administration, and Trump takes care of his boys.
He does.
And he would take care of Icon, was my thesis. The problem with that is that it was already over NAV, and you had the risk of, Icon is not as young as he used to be.
You're buying a name.
You're buying a name. So I did not actually put money into it, but I think I did pretty well off of it.
Yeah, very well, up almost 21%. Sam we'll just kind of run through a couple of these. Sam had JP Morgan doing really nicely. Banks as a whole had a really good run, up 19.5%. He also had Caterpillar up 12. Intern Bear had a couple names, most notably Kroger, which he puts down for everything. I'll give him credit though. Kroger is up 7%.
Yeah.
Market's up 3.55% over this time period. So that's some alpha. He's generating some alpha there. The one I'm personally most proud of is X, US Steel, up 73%.
Wow, that's the biggest winner of them all.
Big winner there. So we had a good portfolio that we built out. I think the number that everybody would want to know, understand, we didn't buy any names on any of these theses. We did own a couple of these names just in the portfolio, and we'll certainly disclose that in the comments. But the total portfolio, if we bought an equal weight share of all of these, was up more than 21%.
Wow.
And if you carve out some of Krebsbach's losers, which is kind of the theme of our investing show today, is don't listen to Krebsbach. If you carve out that, we really had a run. But no, we were up up more than 21%. But what's interesting is, I don't have all the names, but we also built the Clinton portfolio, the portfolio that we felt was more likely at the time. And we did kind of create some asymmetry here. In other words, the Clinton portfolio, if we bought them both, it's not like it was down 21%. It was actually up 2.5%, so lagging the market by about 1% over the time period that we were looking at. But so not too bad. If you kind of took everything, rolled it all in there, we'd be up about 12% if we bought all those names.
Wow.
We didn't. So I guess maybe take our advice when we don't would be the takeaway. But kind of an interesting thing. We've talked a lot about Trump themes and kind of some of the fallout from the election. But it's especially interesting when you look at some of these names, prisons, steel, things that were kind of talking points of the campaign, things that were referenced a lot, to see them play out like so directly, so quickly.
Right,
We're talking about stocks being up 70% in a matter of about a month. It's pretty wild to see, and again, that's if you took action on those, that's certainly what you were hoping for. But we would also recommend reevaluating now, because anytime anything runs up 70% a month, you kind of tend to think some of the juice has been squeezed out there at some point. Ben, any other thoughts on the Trump or Clinton portfolios? Or?
No, it'll be interesting. I'm interested to see how they continue to play out over the next few months. It would be interesting to check back at the end of March or something after the first quarter to see actually how they ended up doing with a little more time under the belt.
Get through those first 100 days that are so critical when we read Trump's plan, and just kind of see some of the stuff like infrastructure spending and some of the policies that we kind of expect to see, kind of seeing how that plays out. And what he's able to get done in the White House and how that impacts some of these things, especially the stocks that were so directly influenced, it seems like, by the campaign trail and in those talking points. So that's the recap. Go back, listen to the audio podcast. You can hear a little bit more about why we picked these companies. And that's about it. Y'all have a great day.
Tusk Media is a subsidiary of Narwhal Capital Management. Ratings and reviews of Tusk Media content are not to be construed as endorsements of opinions, analysis, or services offered by Tusk or its parent company. The opinions and predictions shared here are professional beliefs at the time of publication. We are not under duress from any of the corporate entities mentioned. This is not a solicitation to take any particular action. Although we are investment advisors, this information should not be considered investment, legal, or tax advice. We strive to be as impartial, insightful, and accurate as possible. We base our opinions, analysis, and calculations on information we believe to be reliable, but we cannot guarantee its accuracy. We can, however, guarantee that our opinions will sometimes be flat out wrong due to a variety of factors. Employees and clients of Narwhal Capital Management may or may not hold positions in the securities detailed and may or may not hold these positions in the future. A full list of all securities purchased, sold, or held during the 12 months preceding the date of this publication can be provided upon request. Unless otherwise noted, all data accessed via MarketWatch or the Bloomberg terminal. Past performance does not guarantee future results. A copy of Narwhal's Form ADV is available at the SEC's website, www.advisorinfo.sec.gov, or from Narwhal upon written request.